And that is quite tricky for a kookaburra because they actually have to do a bit of work in order to catch their food. How kookaburras catch their food mid-air. So we've got Lou over to this side of the arena, and Zoe's going to do it. So we're going to try again with Sean and Harold. This is quite a difficult skill to master. So if Sean manages to perfect on your first attempt, Sean, fantastic. Next is actually a begging call, just to let us know that they are still hungry. And the call that they're most famous for, though. Kookaburras have a reputation for having a really, hence the song, Laugh Kookaburra Laugh. Now, we've tried so territory, and they will only laugh once they feel like they're in their own space. When you can hear their laugh, though, is when we put them back in their aviary. So shortly after the show, if you listen out, you will hear them laughing straight off the grill despite the heat. They are incredibly cheeky birds. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to eat snakes up to about 1 metre in length, which is enormous when you to eat a snake when you're that size. It's quite a challenge. In Falkland Islands, it is incredibly windy, and to fly around would mean wasting an awful lot of energy in order to find his food. So instead, he finds his food on the ground, and he's just demonstrating that. He find out his favourite food is penguins, but penguins provide an awful lot of nutrients. Firstly, you have the adult penguins. They're a bit difficult to kill. What Caracara they will do is they will annoy a penguin so much that the penguin regurgitates its fishy supper. So he gets a free meal of fish soup, and some Caracara will go around annoying, so happily go through tunnels in order to try and find chicks and eggs. So he's quite happy to go into scatter all of your rubbish all over the floor in order to find what he wants to eat. He'll even go into upright bins because he knows that they can often offer a rich source of food. This puzzle is based on the party game Plump, where you have to pull out sticks from. And as you can see, he's very good at this game. He worked out how to play it in less than 2 minutes of getting the game in his aviary. And then he also worked out how to cheat, and he cheats by kicking the whole thing over, shoving his head underneath and pulling out the meat from underneath it. So he is incredibly cheeky. He's also worked out that if he struggles with it, Natalie will come over and give him a hand. So he's very intelligent there. At the moment, she's getting to do a little bit more work, trying to encourage him to go into that bit. And he's got the command to go home. So, oh, fantastic, he's on his way now. He's dismissed Ben in favour of Zoe, so Zoe will bring Charlie around for you. Very excited, I have to say. And then we asked all the females to turn their back on Charlie and run off in the other direction. And Charlie was so upset that he flew off after all these females. And that was how we got Charlie to do the arena. And hopefully, Charlie will launch himself into the air. So we need your help now. Ready, steady, go! And off Charlie goes. Now he will fly quite low on occasion, so just keep an eye out. And as he flies around, just have a look at that fantastic tail. Now, he does like to fan out his tail when he flies, and that's because parrots fly about 30 miles an hour, and they need to fan out their tails in order to. It is, as Ben says, quite a hot day, and sometimes Charlie does go on a little bit of a strike that he doesn't want to fly. Now, we're going to have to send Ben off on a run this time, despite his attempts to get him to sit on Zoe. Ben's not that keen on running, so we do need to give him a lot of encouragement this time. There's lots of us here, and I think we can be even louder than we were before. So, ready, steady, go! Now, that wasn't supposed to happen. Now, that could have been one of 2 reasons. How loud we can shout those 3 words. Ben, are you ready? Audience, are we ready? Yeah. Okay. Ready, steady, go! With a little flick on Ben's part, Charlie is now launched into the air. Zoe now. Now we're going to let him catch his breath breath back before his final flight of the day. And his Facebook page is Charlie Mac, M-A-C, short for Macaw. Hello, Charlie. I'm doing your shout out now, mate. And he loves to see photographs of himself on his Facebook account, and he will make comments and like different photographs of him or of other birds as well. And he's in a bit of a competition with one of our other birds to see who can get the most number of likes. Now, Charlie, I really don't want to have to do this final run, but you are looking like you want me to run. Charlie? Right, I think it's going to be me doing this final run. Now, it's going to be quite tricky, so I'm really going to need your support. So I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Ready, steady, go! Okay, on Charlie's last flight, we do like to give him a round of applause, but only once he's landed. And the reason is because once he gets applause, he likes to milk it for all it's worth. So once he's landed, give him a round of applause. So he's had a good few months break, and this is only his 4th time out, so we're going to try and fly him today. He is a very nervous bird though, so if we can ask him to be as still as possible when he's flying. This is a great grey owl. They are from the northern hemisphere and are found in the kind of snowy region of Europe as well. Now, as he flies across, have a listen to a bit later. We'll try and fly him over your heads as well, so you can really appreciate that. He has an incredible face, and animals that he likes to hunt live underneath underground tunnels. So what Boris has to do is he has to listen out for those animals scurrying along under those tunnels, and then he'll collapse the tunnel down with his feet. So he uses his face to help catch the sound, and then once he's pinpointed it, he will fly straight down and crash into that tunnel with his feet. Now, usually the paler the eye, the more likely it is to fly in the daytime. However, Boris is a little bit of an exception to this rule, as he has pale eyes but flies at night time. So he's quite an unusual owl. We're going to try and make him fly with Boris, just so you can really appreciate that sound. Boris! 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 Come on, Boris. Okay, the reason he's so quiet when he flies is because he's got a special edge to each of his feathers, which means it kind of combs through the air, and he's almost silent, so he can creep up on his food. Now, Boris is a bit of a scaredy cat. He's scared of all sorts of things, loud noises, clouds even. Second, as I said, this is only the 4th time this year that he's flown out here. So I think